A wonderful day, a very pleasant afternoon, a bright, cheerful morning, or a very calm, pleasant evening indeed. Welcome to a new video. Today I want to go over this Polo 9N with you, a 2004 model, 40 kilowatts, petrol, 1.2-liter engine. Yeah, this is a bit of a special problem, or rather a special case, that we'll examine together right now, step by careful step. What do I mean by more special? Barely special. He's having ignition misfires. We'll start it up and then basically run a diagnostic just to try and figure out exactly what's actually causing those misfires. You can see it in the title, diagnosis, combustion misfires, or whatever it is. And anyway, this is indeed about combustion misfires. I'd say let's go ahead. So let's start it up right now. So that's what it sounds like. And the engine almost wants to jump out on us here. Yeah, the check engine light is on too, so I'd say let's pull the codes right now, just to be safe and not waste time. Ignition on. I'm reading it here with the launch tester. Alright, start recording. All of that should be showing up for you here. So, how do we go about diagnosing this? It's best to always read the fault codes first. Tons of people message me and just send a huge block of text describing the issue, but they don't even scan the car first at all though. Seriously. I mean, honestly, seriously though. How they're supposed to proceed. Always pull the codes first. These cars are so insanely easy to diagnose that you can just pull the codes. So system scan, system scan. But on the topic of misfires, read everything out once, and then most of the time we already at least have the cylinder. That's been logged where the misfires are. I've got the display on. And this whole misfire thing can, of course, be a quick one, like a bad ignition coil, very common on this model here, but also on the model over here, sometimes. It can be a very, very serious and quite tricky fault, like a valve that jumped because the timing chain slipped. A bent valve or a ruined spark plug or a faulty fuel injector. Yeah, all of them. Ignition coil's broken, and I'll show you guys why you do it as a full system scan. I didn't want a system scan, I wanted to select a system. I probably typed that wrong in here just now actually. Hit back once now, please. System select. Clicked wrong one, engine. The nice thing about this sound tester is that we don't have to enter a key number. Quick in and out, and it clearly read that. The third cylinder misfire was detected. Alright. Clear the error. We can do that now. Wonder if it can even be cleared. Man, what was I even doing here all day? I'm gonna go delete it again. We can see if the error comes back on its own. Still runs well. That one will definitely come back. So that's the most important thing we have to do when we want to start the diagnosis, misfires. That means first we need to read the fault codes. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on then. So let's note that. Do the diagnostics, or rather, what do we need to get the engine running? We need fuel, a spark, and air. Very often it really is a spark problem indeed. So we'll go over the whole thing again. That was already off. That one had been off before, but that probably wouldn't be what's causing the misfires now. So, the simplest we've got is, where's cylinder 1? 1, 2, 3. Cylinder 1 is always opposite the gearbox. On ours, it saved the third one. Now we can do the following. Pull the coils out first, put a spark plug on, see if you actually get a spark. Or the cooler option, where we can check more, is to swap the coils and plugs around once. We're going to take a look at the spark first. I already marked this one here that he saved for us. Don't want us to get stuck here and then step out once. It's already screwed. Has anyone already messed with it? We'll also sort the fuel page and take care of it. If we want to check the points now, sure, you can leave the fuel on, but if you can get to it that easily, take it off so fuel doesn't unnecessarily flow or get sprayed into the cylinder. So, then we'll leave it on. If we use 2 cylinders, that's fine. Same if we use 2 coils. So, 2 candles on. Let's see if at least the spark will show up now. So, we need to connect a ground wire here now because normally it picks that up through the threads. And because this isn't grounded here, we either have to hold it to ground or run a wire over there. Important for this test, you're dealing with high voltage here, so keep your fingers away. So it's important. If you want to diagnose something yourself or check for sparks, don't touch or hook it to the car body anywhere, because you could even get a shock. So seriously, if you simply just clip on and watch the spark, or you can use special test probes that you clamp in between. And have the whole thing explained verbally. Purchase links, they're all in the video description. We've got sparks, a bit weak, because the battery's a bit weak too. But the spark's there, definitely. We could try it right this very moment with the plugs that we have. Try putting those on as well. Or we can swap the coils, let it run and see whether it then stores the third or the second again. You can of course mess around like that too. Alright. That could of course still be the spark plugs. Now we've checked the whole thing carefully to see if the coils are okay with new spark plugs. Now we'll do it with the existing spark plugs. Give them a quick blow. I'll leave that one in for now, because we're going to swap it over in a sec and see if it shows the same cylinder. Alright, the spark plug socket. Let's go and put it on now. Let's check out the plug's condition. That third cylinder wasn't running. It's completely soaked. There you can see that it's completely soaked. There definitely wasn't any spark. Now the question is, what exactly caused it right here though, really? Let's slap one on. And we'll see in a sec if the plug sparks. We'll pull that one out too. And let's take a look at how it looks alright. Go on. Okay. That looks better already. Take the other cylinder off. pretty black. Because it's probably getting a lot of fuel now, because that one cylinder isn't running, but dry. So once we've got the plugs out, to check for spark, it's really important that we disconnect the fuel. The last thing we want is fuel coming in, something kicking back at us, and an actual explosion. So it's important to either pull the fuel pump fuse or just remove the whole thing completely at the injectors. So same thing again, we'll slap a jumper on it now so we get more power here. And if we get sparks with the old coil, then all the shit starts now. From now on, it's nothing but shit. That means the coils are sparking. That means if we've got fuel on the injector and it's wet, then it's getting fuel. Well, of course, yeah, it's getting fuel. That means in the worst case, the only thing left could be the timing chain, or yeah, that the timing chain has jumped. Or a valve is bent. Or we have no compression at all anymore because a valve has burned through. And this is all crap now. We're going to check compression now. And I was really hoping it was the coil because the compression is crap. Seriously. And from the looks of it, these engines also have the problem that the timing chain shifts, and they also like to burn valves. That means next step, check the compression. Then we'll take it out and now go ahead and run a compression test right away, immediately. Yeah, I didn't expect that, of course. What you could still do now is the coils. I mean, you've got to, if you don't want to risk testing the whole thing with the sparks, you could simply swap the ignition coils. Run the second on the third, or the third on the second, and see if it now shows the other cylinder or still the same one. If it still shows the same one, then you don't have a problem with the wiring or on the coils. And the plugs. This is really specific to this model. The single spark coils you can swap. There are versions with a central coil, and that of course won't work. So that only works with those single spark ignition coils where you have one coil per cylinder. That's really important. So how does this look here? Yeah, that basically looks best. I didn't exhale at all. Yeah, I didn't exhale. Basically, it's not a big deal anymore because I figure it's got engine damage anyway. That's probably going to be a whole thing anyway. Normally you should really just blow it out when you pull the spark plug right now. But in my head, I was already down in the engine. And yeah, I think it'll probably come down to engine damage, like a valve being gone. Let's measure that. This is what a compression gauge looks like, shown here up close to give you a clear view and a better sense of the tool's size and build, so you can really see the details and how it feels. Big shout out to XXL Automotive. I bought the case from them. It's a really great tool, that's why. We're going to check compression. Okay, let's check the whole thing. I really use it a lot. And XXL Automotive, everything's linked below. Really great tool if you work on your own car. It hasn't given me any problems so far. Really can't recommend this enough, this whole setup. I look after it like a lunatic, so it always looks as new as possible. Alright, let's check the whole thing. We'll start with the first cylinder. I didn't even check how much it should have. Alright, go ahead and start. All good. 15, 16, 17, we've got 17 bar. You can kind of see that? 17 bar. Yeah, go on. Go ahead. Okay, yeah. You can also hear how he's in there. You can hear it quite clearly right now, very unmistakably audible. It's blowing back into the exhaust, so there's no compression. That's sorted. So, the third cylinder. The whole thing's really gone belly up. Yeah, folks, that's really what it can look like. So a diagnosis about compression or misfires, sometimes it can be a coil, sometimes it can be engine damage because there's no compression on the third cylinder, or regardless of the cylinder. In any case, that's what you would actually use for the diagnosis. That's how you would do it. It can, of course, happen, for example, if you say misfires, oh my god, I indeed really saw that on Vita. There was a cylinder missing, no compression at all. It could of course still be the coil or the injector. Maybe one of them's really gone. Control signal to the injector. It's really quite individual what can actually cause these kinds of misfires. Because combustion requires fuel and compression, so air, fuel, air, and a little spark. And the whole thing also has to match the timing, of course. Yeah, that's what it looks like. With those misfires, some really weird things can sometimes actually happen. Yeah, in this case, we've now wrapped up the diagnosis. It is what it is. The head needs to come out. I don't think we'll follow this up in this video. This one will just remain as the misfire diagnosis for the time being, at least. And the next video will be taking the head off, refurbishing the head, or rather, valve, replace the exhaust valve. I figure we'll definitely tackle the timing chain too. We'll definitely do the timing chain work for sure, but in this video we won't do a timing chain tutorial. Instead, it's a cylinder head gasket tutorial, so to speak. So, head gasket and engine overhaul, basically. A VW Polo 9N engine rebuild is going to be a pretty involved video, but here it's about the misfire issue. For sure. Very often I actually run into the problem that people just swap the coil because the spark plugs get neglected. And yeah, the car doesn't even have that many miles on it, 95,000. Yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. So we'll definitely do the chain. Yeah, stay tuned. Drop a thumbs up, hit subscribe, write everything down below in the... So leave them down in the comments if you've got any questions. And yeah, now we're gonna do a slightly more elaborate, bigger video on how to pull a head out and make one. It hasn't been done on the channel yet either, so be excited. See you next time. Bye.